Firstly, thanks very much for taking a minute to learn more about how we can help you to achieve more winners than ever before. Raceplans.com provides a whole range of services to massively increase the number of races you win. Everything we do is designed to make sure that little to nothing is left to chance, because if you fail to plan, then you simply plan to fail. Right now we're looking at the race entry system, which is an instant game changer for you. It's available from only a few pounds a month per horse, and there is quite simply nothing else that you can do this year that is going to have as great an impact on your success as this will. We'll take you through everything in more detail, but first I'm going to show you how quick and easy this really is to use. First we need to log in, and for the purposes of this we're going to use the save settings for Mark Johnson. Just click on login, click on the details and enter. Now you can instantly see the stable of horses and when they last ran. If you scroll down you can see that those are the ones within the last 3 months, then 3 to 6 months, etc, etc. Now if you simply click on a horse's name on this page, it will give you the details of all of the form. You just simply click here, it will bring up all of the filters, click search races now, and it's going to take a moment or two to process because obviously there's a huge amount of data going on behind the scenes, but once that's done, generally takes about 30 seconds, then what it's going to do is it's going to bring up all of the races taking place within the next 60 days that match that criteria. Those are fully color coded to make sure that you have the best opportunity to find the ideal races for your horse. We'll go into more details about that later, but for the minute, let's go back to the top of the page and click on the horse list. That's going to take us back to the opening page. If we select a horse called Fred from the list, and what you can now instantly see is all of the form for that horse. This uses our own rating system. We've developed that over the last 6 years, and it's much more accurate than any other in existence. You can see the best factors for every part of the horse's racing history highlighted in green. This is the races. Then it also includes the preferred in-race position. So you can see for this horse, 4 wins from 10 runs as a front runner. Clearly that's the ideal in-race position for him. You scroll down further, you can see the best race distance. You can see the ideal ground, most suitable class, what course speed, course type, course difficulty, and course direction he wants. Plus at the end of the page, you've got the historic stats for your reference on courses, months and jockeys. So what you can see from all of this information is that Fred wants to front run on good ground over 7 furlongs on a left-handed easy track. But he'd be okay on both galloping or a sharp course, and both flat or undulating tracks wouldn't be an issue either. Whether or not you agree, you simply click on the button at the top, which basically opens up the filters page. On this filters page, if you don't agree with the form assessment, or you just want to try something new, you can create whatever settings you want for each individual horse and then save them for future use. So for the purposes of this, let's just say we agree with almost everything. But because the system is automatically adding only the very best results, which for this horse are for sharp and flat tracks, what we're going to do is we're going to update this search to say we're happy to include all types for course speed and course type. That's those settings changed. We will then add to the filters that the only races we want to include are handicaps, and we want to exclude apprentice and amateur races. If you hold down the control key, then you're able to select more than one option in many of the boxes. Then once we're happy, we scroll down to the bottom and we simply save that for future use. Now you can see that that search is saved for one-click future use. You can do it in seconds now by just clicking on this one button on the profile where it says search. You can set up multiple searches if you want, whether you need different preferences for flat and hurdle races. Maybe you want to set up alternative searches for turf and all weather, or maybe you're thinking about stepping a horse up in trip. It doesn't really matter. You can set up as many of these as you want. Because we've set up that saved search, we can now, with one click, find the perfect races for Fred just by pressing this search button here. As you know, we're looking for the most suitable races for a good ground front runner over 7 furlongs on an easy left-handed track. It can be flat or undulated, sharp or galloping are both fine too, and we want handicap race. We've excluded amateur and apprentice races. As you can see, all of the results are fully colour-coded, so you can analyse the best opportunities in seconds at a glance. You can see that this particular set of search results includes races from both Ireland and the UK, but what you can do is you can select to just choose Ireland or just choose the UK, or obviously cover both countries. But our system won't just tell you in seconds the best course and the ideal races during the next 60 days. What it's going to show you is how that course stacks up against other courses for that distance, and it will even let you know how likely it is that you'll get the good ground that you're looking for at that course in that month and that season. You just scroll down to see the races and choose the one that stacks the odds in your horse's favour the most. It's literally as simple as that to use. If we now take a quick scroll down, we can see of the races that some have good factors, but they're not all positive. You can see that Leopardstown is okay, but it's not an easy course, which seems to be important for this horse. Goodwood isn't really an ideal track for front runners. If you keep scrolling down, you can see that Down Royal is just pretty bad on every level. Keep going, and everything's basically sort of looking okay, but it's got one or two issues until you come down to Haydock. So the race at Haydock on the 1st of July would look at top of the list right now. It's left-handed, sharp, flat, easy course, which is exactly what this horse is looking for. It's great for front runners on good ground, and there is a very high likelihood of getting good ground for that race on that day. But obviously you should still check out all of the other options. So if we scroll further down, Ascot is obviously jumping straight out again as a really bad option, just like Down Royal did. However, they might look like the best races if you were looking for prep runs or to reduce a mark. We then come to Epsom, which looks absolutely amazing. But again, it isn't an easy course. Newmark is okay, it isn't easy again. Musselburgh is also amazing for front runners, except again, it isn't left-handed. So with just a quick scroll down the page, we now know all of this information about the upcoming races. So basically, what we've been able to work out with just a few clicks and a bit of scrolling is that if it must be easy and left-handed no matter what, then Haydock on the 1st of July is the best option in the next 60 days. However, if you can live with it not being an easy course, then Epsom on the 15th of July is where you should be entering. If it must be easy, but you think it actually will be okay if it's not left-handed, then Musselburgh on the 25th of July looks the best option. If you wanted to give your horse a prep run, then it would be Down Royal or it would be Ascot. So you can see from this, you're able to work out what are the best options for you in race planning at any point in time. And in 2 months' time, you could come back to this and basically repeat the process, and it's going to give you exactly the same information about the upcoming races in the next 60 days. Our Race Century system is simply a complete no-brainer for you. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, you'll be planning the races better than has ever been possible before, and on the days your horses are fully primed, they'll always be running in the races that perfectly match their ideal preferences. As I said earlier, there is quite simply nothing else that you can possibly do this year that will have as great an impact on your success as using our Race Century system. We appreciate that it's a bold statement to make, and we're not stupid enough to believe that this means you're going to win every race you enter. But what is 100% for certain is that you are clearly going to win a lot more races if your horses run in the races that perfectly suit them. If you want to test it yourself with a free trial and don't yet have your logins, just give us a call on 0141 816 9595 or alternatively send an email to help@raceplans.com. Finally, there is just one thing that I do need to please make clear. To ensure that the advantage our system delivers is as big as possible, we're only providing our support to around 10% of trainers. You just need to decide if for a few pounds a month per horse, you want to be in the 10% with this massive advantage or the 90% without it. Please don't put this to the side because you're busy and think you'll get round to it later. Invest just a few minutes into it now so that you're in the 10% maximising winners rather than the 90% that are now going to find it even harder to win races than ever before. And if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Call on 0141 816 9595 or just email help@raceplans.com.